Everybody has the ability to educate and lead by example on so many different levels, and all can be just as effective as the other. In 2013, Australian comedian, musician and writer Tim Minchin addressed his old university, University of Western Australia. In his speech, he delivered his 9 life lessons. Lesson number 6 is one lesson that has stuck with me since first hearing the speech, and is probably something that I will continue to carry with me for some time to come. Life lesson number 6, according to Tim Minchin. Please be a teacher. Teachers are the most admirable and important people in the world. You don't have to do it forever, but if you're in doubt about what to do, be an amazing teacher. Be a primary school teacher. Even if you're not a teacher, be a teacher. Share your ideas, don't take for granted your education, and rejoice in what you learn, and spray it. I want to be a part of something big. I want to be a part of one of the most important things in life. In 1990, the United Nations created 8 Millennium Development Goals to be achieved by 2015, signed off by the nations of the world. The second on the UN's agenda was to achieve universal primary education. As a teacher of the future, it is important to recognise that the way I teach is going to be extremely different to the way I was taught some time ago. The world is much more than what we see on the surface, and it is constantly facing social change. I need to be responsible in showing my students this change. Gandhi was concerned with the holistic and harmonious development of humans and craft education, which provides an education reflecting upon the community the school was in. He believed craft education will provide a healthy and moral basis of relationship between the city and the village, and thus go a long way towards eradicating some of the worst evils of the present social insecurity and poison relationships between the classes. This will help me address particular social issues, in particular gender stereotyping. Although the gap between men and women has narrowed significantly, processes such as gender socialisation still occur. Gender socialisation is the process by which young boys and girls are taught behaviour thought to be appropriate for their sex. This process can involve providing sex-type toys, dolls for girls or trucks for boys. My students will have freedom of choice and not be constrained to traditional texts of what is mythically normal. I will do this by avoiding stereotyping and not making assumptions based on the sex of the child. The children I will teach will feel valued and rewarded. My students will have an understanding that some students may need extra help to create an equal classroom, just like they will experience in the community to create equal communities. My education philosophy will follow inclusive practices. Not only is inclusion a practice in education, it is also an act of law. Inclusion in education is based on the philosophy that schools should without question provide the needs for all children in the community, whatever their background. Inclusive schools welcome and celebrate diversity. As a future teacher, my students will understand the importance of core subjects such as maths and English as being equally important in understanding the world. My education philosophy will be influenced by a social constructivist learning theory. Lev Vygotsky is considered one of the founding fathers of social constructivism. He believes a child's learning is largely controlled by the environment, and they become in charge of their own learning. In the social constructivist classroom, students are encouraged to be actively involved in their learning by thinking of knowledge as ever-changing with the ability to explore all views. Strongly believe my social constructivism outlook on learning coincides with the standards of pedagogy and curriculum set in place by Education Queensland. They urge quality classroom teaching has a profound influence on student learning and well-being. When I eventually become a teacher, I hope to be a bit like this guy. I will lead and facilitate my students into creating their own transformative text and value as self as equals, remembering the importance of nurturing my students, making everything clearly about them and not me. From the moment a child is born, everyone and everything they come into contact leaves a mark. It is up to me what kind of mark I want to leave on a child, so one day they can stand up and dance alone and spray their own ideas. After all, it all starts with one.